Was. All right, so hey, here we go. Let's get back on the clock, fellas. We are back doing this beautiful, beautiful show that we love to do for y'all once a week. The OGs of the DMV, and it is off season. Now the season's still going on, but we are finished.
Oh, that's cold.
Done.
Done. Oops.
Washington Commanders are no longer in the 22-23 playoff attempt. They're going on without us, gentlemen. One thing I do like about not being in the playoffs is Black Monday. Black Monday. People start getting fired who deserve to be fired. And they started dropping. But for us, it took till Black Wednesday. Scott Turner. We go bye-bye. Yes, Mr. I almost used the government name.
I know you did. Hey, I slipped up too. Hey, listen. I just want to make sure that we give respect and concern to my man Big Al. I know he was a little upset the last week, and he has a very close relationship with Scott Turner. He's been doing it for the last couple of years. Big Al, are you okay, man? Listen, hey, I mean this. You can talk to us. I mean, only us and probably about 1,000 people watching this.
With transparency speaking, I pretty appreciate your care and your concern. Me and Scott were very close. We were great bowling partners. We bowled every Thursday. Well, excuse me, every Friday, right before the game. We had our bowling, and we talked. And now he has to move. And it's upsetting. But we still have cell phones. He can call me, text. Just don't bowl anymore. Unfortunately, it was his time. There's a time for the winter. It's time for spring. It's time for summer. It's time for fall.
He's poetic. He's very poetic.
So that's why they call it Black Monday, because folks get fired. But like I said, it took us to Wednesday. Big Al, don't worry about it. The one thing they will do with a guy like him is they will recycle him. He will get another job.
Yes,
he will be employed come this time next year. No doubt about it.
But I wasn't concerned about him. I was concerned about my brother, from big wheels to trade deals. My man, Big Al. You okay, Al?
I'm okay, man. My bowling hand, we recruit. It'll come back. It'll come back.
All right. Because at this point, now that you say that you're okay, I'm about to light into that ass.
Well, today first, we're going to go into Mr. Ron, seeing what kind of coach he is. Tracy is going to give us soliloquy on what he got going on as a future of the Washington Commanders football coach. But first, let's talk about these fellas. These are my boys, Tracy and Big Al. Gentlemen, let's get into the show. Wait, hold up. What do we always what do you always say? Let's get it.
You don't know. Yeah. You don't know who you messing with. You don't know who you messing with. You don't know. You don't. I run you up and down the Serengeti. Heads ain't ready. I chew you up and spit you out like chicken confetti. My rhymes are heavy like elephants, stomping your regiments, dismembering all your limbs, ripping your ligaments. I break you down to an atom, change your chemical structure, roots and culture. You don't wanna fuck with this brother. I'm like a time bomb, over a fresh can of Wilshire. Stylus plexiglass, got you face down in the grass, ready to blast. Sticky for your jewels and your cash. Call me Robin Hood. Take the loot back to the hood. I wish you would try to retaliate. I wait like a sniper, beat you like Street Fighter, heat you up like a lighter. Don't need no Ghost Rider. Original skill, killing at will. Terminates career like the pill. This is real, not no fiction. Came up with my jurisdiction. I'm liver than you, whether freestyle or written. Hitting hard like a hammer, like a natural disaster, like a hurricane. Plain and simple, bringing the pain. Won the battle. What? I'm ready to do this. Beat your ass like Lennox Lewis. Play you out like Parker Lewis. You must
All right. We're back. We're going to get into this little thing we call I don't know what you call it. This is all new for us. This is something that we have never done before. We're gonna give Trey his moment in the sun. Mr. Talk a Lot, Mr. I'm always right,
Mr. Blitz.
Mr. Blitz. We're gonna talk about it, but we're gonna let him get his mantra out first of what Mr. Ron Rivera is worth as a football coach. Trey Z.
What is he worth as a football coach? Wow. Okay. Hey, everybody. How you doing? Trey Z here, and I'm Mr. Always Right. And I'm just going to talk about Mr. Ron Rivera. And as you guys already saw, the deterioration of what we call a head coach here at Washington. And yes, you guys remember what we had before. We couldn't wait to get Mr. Ron. He's coming in with the culture. We had a lot of organizational shifts and things. And so I'm not taking everything away from him. He has done some things. However, the excuses are now over. And now that we've also gotten rid of the proverbial scapegoat in i.e. Scott Turner, it all now is resting on Riverboat Ron, and I've seen a lot of people calling him now Rowboat Ron. Shoulders. Ladies and gentlemen, Ron Rivera has gone to the Super Bowl, and he holds that pedigree very high. So much so that we have become the Carolina Panthers of the North, and we are still holding on to those traditions. Hence the term. Ron Rivera is a great foster dad. I want you to think about that. Foster dads. What is a foster dad? Foster care. Foster care is something where individuals have to go with families that are sponsored by the state to take care of them in better situations. Doesn't necessarily mean that those individuals are guaranteed to be better people, but they get to better situations than they were in. And Ron Rivera is the king of that. He brings in individuals, he brings people to the team that you would think would add to the team, but really it's just about the safety from the marginalism of what they were doing before, and now they can do it in burgundy and gold. He's a great foster dad. Does Ron Rivera go out and recruit free agency? I'll wait. Absolutely not. What Ron Rivera does is goes and finds any and everybody who he has taken care of before as the ward of the state of Carolina and brings them to Washington. And they sit there and they have now stolen a lot of money, and we are now sitting here talking about the season instead of continuing our play. This is just me, but if you think about it, I've been talking about Ron Rivera and I was concerned because that is not necessarily what wins games here in the NFL. I think that you have to then take chances. I think that you have to be aggressive. I think that you have to put people in place for the time being and people in place that will help you in the future, not just friends and associates. Interesting that Scott Turner, there was no delay, even though Mr. Deacon said it took Wednesday. I knew it was coming. He had to make an example of somebody. Ron Rivera will be here next year, and he will be making the decisions, and we need a coach. But nonetheless, he will be our coach. We need a quarterback. We need some linebackers. We need offensive linemen. We need individuals who are going to make crucial, strategic, and intellectual decisions that are going to better our team. I ask you, fans, those of you to put in the comments, do you think that Ron Rivera is capable of that, or has the time passed him by? Great foster dads, though. He's an excellent man. Makes everybody feels comfortable in the locker room, except reporters when they report to him because they're wondering why you are the only individual or the only coach that did not know that you could be eliminated. You didn't know. Individuals are still talking about that to this day, and I want you guys to understand that it's not your fault as fans. It is not anybody's fault as players. It is not even those individuals under him. That's Ron Rivera. Great guy. Super gentleman. He's also a family man. He's all of those things. But he is not a good coach. But he would be an awesome foster dad. Thank you for watching.
All right.
Good night.
All right. Hey, listen, that was said quite clearly and sounded good to me, man. Sounded good to me, and it even took me back to my our younger age when we was in high school. It reminded me of Mr. Brown, the counselor. He was a good dude, man. He was just a good dude. He would tell you you can do it. You can do it. You know. Hey, listen.
Wow. Yes.
Come on, now.
Absolutely.
Mr. Brown. Everybody knows Mr. Brown.
You're going to be a chemical engineer when you know you can sell chemicals. But you was walking out there like, yes.
Yeah. That's right.
Now, Mr. Brown.
and that is not a bad trait, but sometimes it's not the best trait to have as a football coach. Sometimes you got to put the fear in people. You know, even though these are grown men, they still should be fearing their jobs and fearing what's coming up. So, you know, and as far as Mr. Turner, listen, Big Al's going to tell us what happened to Mr. Turner. Mr. Scott Turner, a legacy of his daddy. Al's going to give us a deep dive. He's going to give us that deep dive on Mr. Turner and let us know what the hell happened.
Well, before we talk about Mr. Turner, we got to go back to Ron. We got to talk about Ron for just a second.
You can't
talk about Ron just a second. I got to put my shield on Ron. I just can't talk about Ron without talking about Turner. That's talking about Ron, right?
Turner, so if that's hard. Hey, Deacon, that's hard.
Hey, man,
I asked him in the beginning,
let me
was he okay?
gradually get into Mr. Turner. Let me gradually get.
Come on, man. Ease
Well,
up.
you tell me when you're ready, and I'll give you your own.
There you go.
You can't
I'll
get your own
let you
square
know.
on Ron.
Hey, Deacon, that was very foster dad of you.
Hey, man, but let's be factual on Ron. Let's just get really factual on Ron. Ron's record in 3 years is what, around 21 and 28.
Yeah, it's bad.
Previous coach,
Same.
the exact same, around 21 and 27 or somewhere around that.
Mm-hmm.
The coach before that, the Shanahan's, were a little bit better. They were 28 and 21 in the first 3 years. Of course, they had that great year with RG. And our great coach of the Washington football team, formerly the Redskins, Joe Gibbs, second goal, not the first goal, but the second goal was around 29 and 20.
That second goal.
But he took them to 2 playoffs. So, Ron is right around 500, where the rest of our coaching staff has been in the last 20 years, basically.
Water break. All right.
Oh, Turner, I get choked up when I talk about Turner, so excuse me, guys. Oh, man.
It's okay, Al. It's okay.
Take your time, Al. Take your time. Go ahead and get that deep dive in there so that
Right.
Oh, Turner.
Don't be ashamed.
Turner.
Don't be ashamed.
Oh, now, Turner. This is a young man that was borderline genius. Had great ideas.
Genius.
Offensive genius. Had great ideas. Hold on. Pause. I'm just going to jump in. Tracy, nobody jumped in when you was talking. If he's a genius, he's a genius, okay? Go ahead, Big Al. Go into your deep dive.
I'm sorry, Al. That was very insensitive.
Thank you, brothers. I'm still choked up about Turner because it's my buddy. Look, borderline genius, great ideas, offensive guru. But he had one problem. Sometimes he intellectually goes too far in a direction that's not helpful for the team that he had to play with, especially a team without a quarterback and the last year without an offensive line. He had these great ideas, and he would go down a path, but his team couldn't go with him, unfortunately. And unfortunately, he did not coach to what he had on the field. And even though Ron loved him, because he was his foster dad, Ron had to let him go. And, like I said, I get choked up. It hurt me to see him go, but it was time for him to go. Because that genius mind just was ahead of what the team that we had. So we have to let him go somewhere else where he can be a genius. just like the coach for the LA Rams who won the Super Bowl, the coach for the Miami Dolphins who's in the playoffs, the coach for the Green Bay Packers that took his team 3 times to the playoffs, this year not, but former coach, the coach for the Cleveland Browns. All these guys are offensive coordinators for our illustrious Washington football team. And all of them are doing fairly well as play callers outside of our franchise. I believe that Scott would be the same way. He would go somewhere and blow up, and there'll be another former coach doing well somewhere else, but not here. And I'm in agreement with that, but not here. Thank you, Deacon, for giving me an opportunity to defend my buddy, Scott Turner.
Now comes the part where we throw our heads back and laugh. Ready?
Ready! That was rough. Hey, listen, you did a yeoman's job at saving this guy's career, trying to move him on in victory, but it was all defeat here in Washington. It was bad. It was bad. He deserved to get fired. He knows he deserves to get fired.
Each one of those coordinators I brought up, all them different franchises, where same thing happened to them. You heard the record of the last 10 years. All of them were coordinators for those great coaches. And every one of them now is prospering in other places.
So Ron's a great coach now.
I said prospering. These previous offensive coordinators are prospering in other franchises.
You are
Stop it! I can't take it.
And I'm not telling the truth?
No.
It's the truth. Okay, the 49ers coach is not prospering.
Listen.
No, you just weren't telling the truth about
He was the offensive coordinator.
Hey,
wasn't he the offensive coordinator here?
He's doing a great job.
Deacon.
Definition, Big Al.
Hey, I can't help you, Big Al.
Wasn't the Rams quarterback? Wasn't the offensive coordinator won the Super Bowl for the Rams?
Yes.
So what are we talking about here? I'm telling you.
We're talking about the definition of genius. Can we go to the definition of genius? Let's keep it basic. Genius is the intellectual or creative power or natural ability. Tell me how Scott Turner showed any creativity, any intelligence, as we are down 4th and 1 on the goal line and we can't get in, and or creativity. Go ahead, Big Al, show me.
Well, your boy Ron, Foster Dad,
No.
Pick the players.
No.
Pick the players that cannot execute the
Scott
plays.
Turner.
He cannot execute the plays. His mind was in front of them. The
bowling buddy. not Ron. Ron kept him here 3 years so that he can get down in the red zone and have zero play.
Again,
genius. All right, listen.
I'm in agreement for Scott to go though. I'm in agreement.
Right. I'm about to say he's not genius level. I'll give him 3rd grade class leader.
All right, guys. Hey, YouTube. OG fans, hear what my man Tracy just said.
He's Tecmo Bowl.
Hear what my man Tracy. We want to mark this on your calendar when Scott Turner is running across the field with a Super Bowl trophy in his hand. Remember this. Remember this.
He will probably be on some crack and need to steal a Super Bowl trophy to make some crack money.
All right. Hey, you said the same thing about Shanahan up there in the San 49ers. You said the same thing about the Rams. Coordinator. You did.
No, I didn't.
You said the same thing. Get that guy out of here. Get that guy out of here.
I didn't. They made the change. I didn't say that about them. I'm saying it about Scott, your buddy. And I asked you earlier if you was okay. I told you what I was.
I said
he ain't okay.
You're not okay.
You hear me talking, man.
I'm sorry, and I'm sorry that I gotta bring this to you. No, seriously. If Scott Turner does that, then guess what? Which what we've been saying, then it is Ron.
Yeah.
It's the organization.
Yeah.
It's the cohesion of that. There's nobody's going to come in here and win because there's something that is untangible. Right. I mean, listen. Dallas kept all of their starters on the field. They want to pretend that it was just a fluke game, but they got in there. They realized that these young guys, and we've said this before, and I know I brought it up, trap game. Those guys saw, and Deacon shared before the game or whatever, those guys saw the injury report. They was like, oh, man, they ain't got nobody. They ain't got none of their stuff. They was already hurt, and the rest of them gone. We got it. And they walked in there with that mentality, and them young boys went in there and was like, nah. And as good as they think they are, they couldn't do nothing, man. Nothing. And that's the reason why we were so upset about the game before, because we were like, yo, why are they out there playing like this? And then that's when the foster dad said, hey, we could be eliminated. Every time I say it, it's the funniest thing in America. I can't believe that. And so that is it. It's this.
Trey, I'm gonna say, I can't explain why Scott had a better game plan against the
No,
Cowboys.
we not worried about Scott. He
had against Cleveland. I'll be honest with you. The reason why is he dummied down the offensive schemes and did simple stuff for his rookie quarterback to play, and it worked. Then he repeatedly called the same plays over and over again, and it worked. But in the other games we had, he thought he had Wentz or Heineke. He felt like he don't have to call the same play over again. He overthought it. And that's what I'm telling you. Scott is a genius. He overthinks it, man. He's overthinking it. That's why he didn't make it here. He was overthinking it. That's what happened. Seriously. I'm telling you, if Scott would have made it simple, just like he did against Dallas, we'd have beat Cleveland.
Very good, Big.
No. Deacon.
I'm trying to save him from himself.
No, Deacon. Let him.
He got
This
more
is for him.
plays.
This is for him. Hey, that's my brother. I love him. This is for him. Go ahead, Al.
You left off at genius. Go ahead.
Hey, look. You said the same thing about the 49ers coach. You said the same thing about the Rams coach. You said the same thing about the Green Bay coach. The same thing about the Cleveland coach. You see, I'm naming all these names. All these guys were
good when they were here, and they left.
Were they good? Why? If that's the case, we were good. Why are we going to playoffs every year?
Because of the organization and what we were just talking about.
So that's the reason why Scott didn't work. That's all I'm saying. That's the reason why Scott didn't work here. That's all I'm saying.
No, you started bringing Scott up because you still heard.
All right. So what's interesting is I learned something new, and thank you, Big Al. I learned something new.
Thank you, Big Al.
You welcome.
Here's what I just learned, which I didn't know 20 minutes ago. Apparently, Big Al is doing a different show with somebody else. Because I don't remember anybody saying that them guys weren't no good. So I appreciate you. The heads up. I see why you come on at 8:00 and not 7:30 when we say it's time to show. You be recording somewhere else.
Deacon, you like the Shanahans when they was here. You really like the Shanahans, the way they treated RG3. You really like the way they treated RG3.
No, I did.
Absolutely not.
It was RG's
You
fault.
really like you really
we know
you
the
really like
first year.
Gruden. When Gruden was here, you really like Gruden's play calling and all that. You really like Gruden's
You
fade and all that stuff. Well, that's the same dude. This dude that was calling
Gruden ain't did nothing.
the fade, the dude that was calling the fade is the same dude that's calling the fade for the Rams right now. It's the same dude. It's the same dude. So what you saying?
I thought you was finished, Big. I'm done. My bad.
No. You gonna call me out my name and say I'm stupid? I'm not on the show. But you never answer my question though. You ain't never answer my question.
Stupid?
What you said? I'm not on the show.
I said you doing a different show with somebody else.
Deacon, is the guy from the 49ers the same guy? Is the guy from the 49ers that was RG's coach?
Shanahan, yeah.
Shanahan is the same guy.
How?
He wasn't under Gruden though, Big Al. He wasn't
Is it
under
the same
Gruden.
guy? I'm asking you.
He wasn't under Gruden. He was under Shanahan.
I'm saying though, is Shanahan, was he the same offensive coordinator here? Was he here as offensive coordinator, calling plays?
Yeah, I said I like
him.
him.
Were you disappointed or not when he was losing?
No, I said it was RG's fault that he wanted to change.
So now you blaming RG? You said RG was.
I said it then. This leads perfectly into our next segment.
When McVay was here as offensive coordinator, didn't you say you want to get that guy out? He was calling them fades. You didn't say you want to get him out of here?
What the hell?
He was calling them fades. When McVay was here, the Rams coach, after he just won the Super Bowl, Didn't you, when he was our offensive coordinator, Trey, didn't you say, get him out of here?
No.
Didn't you say, get him out of here, Trey?
I'm going to tell you what I said.
Come on, man.
Hey, I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you what I said, Al. I'm going to tell you what I said. They drafted that Bama Dotson to catch a fade, and they were going to get the money's worth out of him, and they kept trying, and they kept trying. I had no problem with
this. This is the same offensive coordinator, though.
He was, Al. He was. I'm not taking anything away from you, man.
So was Scott.
But he wasn't Scott Turner. Hey, he wasn't Scott.
All right.
Al, if I was there, I would hug you right now. I want you to know that, man. I just want to hug you so bad.
How about a big hug?
All right, well, that leads perfectly into our next segment.
Hey, man. And if you got this wrong, these are the brothers.
You two, mark this down. Deacon and
this
Trey.
This is what we do
when Scott
all
Turner
the time.
wins the Super Bowl.
Like and subscribe and get this content. This is what we do. We don't sit there and play around. We give it up. Y'all sitting there playing around with guys ESPN in it. We in here having a good time. Hey. Okay, Deacon, go ahead and run it.
I don't.
I'm sorry.
I did
ask you to begin. I just want to.
I like your passion, Big Al. I like your passion. I like you covering for your man. I appreciate that. That's why I love you, man. That's why we boys. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
Hey, it's off season, man. We gotta have a show now.
Let's go.
All right, let's get into this next segment where we tell you, we told you so. All right, listen. We told you when Big Ron was hired by Big Dan that this was a temporary fix. We needed somebody to come in and steady the organization. Ron was a steady guy, military bound. You know, he was going to do things clockwork and not get in trouble. That's what we needed the most. Big Dan was getting in trouble. We needed somebody to steer the ship. We found
Big Dan.
Big Dan. Big Dan. Big Dan. Big Dan.
We found that, and that's what we have. Like Big Trey said, he's a great foster dad. And that's what he did. He fostered the whole organization through this turmoil that we've been having for the last 3 years. Through name change, through quarterback change, through everything. And now we're going through a coordinator change. But it must be done. So we told you when they hired him that he got 5 years. He had a 5-year contract. We didn't think it would take all 5 years, but we gave him 5 years to get this organization back on the right track. We were right about that, but we were wrong about him actually being able to get us on the right track. Ron is a 500 coach at best in Carolina. Even though he went to the Super Bowl, he was still a 500 coach. He came here as a 500 coach. He's going to leave here as a 500 coach. It's amazing that a man goes 7-9 twice and only wins one more game the next year, even after they added the game for the rest of the season. Went from 16 games, 17 games, and he still only won one more game. So, no more games with Mr. Ron. He has 1 year, depending on the sell of the team. So he either get right with this new coordinator or he get going. That's all I got to say. Gentlemen, this organization is in turmoil right now. We don't know who the owner is going to be next year. We don't know who the coordinator is going to be next year. We don't know who the quarterback is going to be next year.
But
we don't even know if we're going to keep our pick.
But
Ron likes to trade down. Yeah.
there is one glistening and golden thing that we got going for us right now. And I give this to you, Deacon.
I'm listening. Golden. Sweet.
Golden. At around show 3, we were talking about, the good points of the game, and you said, yo, man, that was a major tutty.
Oh, shit.
Emotional damage. Got him. Got him.
Y'all see that dude ain't never been out on the field again, man. They killing us on Major Tutty. Everybody.
We got Major Tutty. He's going to bring us all together. Hold on, folks. Major Tutty to the rescue. And thank Deacon. Hey, listen, Washington Commanders been watching our show when we was the Washington football team. We know it because we would say stuff and they would change stuff. And Deacon said, right around them times, that was a Major Tutty, man. And they was like, yo, wait a minute. They think tank got together, and I know it took them 2 years because that's what Washington does.
2 years,
it took them 2 years, and they said, you know what? We got the mascot. Y'all ready? We ready. Here he is, Major Tutty.
Oh man!
Thank you, Deacon.
You're welcome.
So is next year a lame duck year?
Yeah, it's definitely a lame duck. Unless he gets a coordinator in here that knows what he's doing and is able to, the problem is,
why would he come here?
That's what I'm saying.
Bieniemy might come back. Bieniemy was here.
Unless they say, hey, Bieniemy, you come here as the offensive coordinator, and if it doesn't work out, we'll promote you to coach after we fire Ron. I mean, you got to have some kind of assurances if you come in here, to be honest with you, because this is a career killer right now. Right. We killing careers here, baby. Yeah, that's what we do. So unless something happens where we get into the playoffs and get a run, it's a lame duck year. And the coordinator has to come in and run some kind of similar offensive package, because you asking a rookie, basically, second year guy, to learn a whole new offense again.
If you're talking Bieniemy now, we looking at RPO, we looking at
still gotta learn it though. Still gotta learn the verbiage and all that stuff. That's the hard part.
No. I get it. But hey, guess what? Listen, when we get down to crucial situations, I just want an offensive coordinator to come in and say 3rd and 1 or 4th and 1, we're not passing. Something simple like that. Mm-hmm. There's no passing. If you stop us on 3rd and 1, depending on how serious the situation is, we might go 4th and 1. If this, depending on the situation, we're going to go 4th and 1. We're going to run it. We got a bruiser back, and I hope that the organization will go out and get some bruisers that eat gunpowder for breakfast, and they got bad intentions on the offensive line, and we can push a yard.
All right, hit squad is in the house. Yes, party time. All right now, baby, all right. 60 minutes, balls out. Let's open up the whole can of kick ass and kill them all.
That's one thing that Wentz did well. When he was down there on that goal line, he jumped up with his, and I was like, that's all you need to do. That it was so simple. He's 6'5". I'm about to curse. He's 6'5". It's 1 yard. You're 400 freaking pounds. Mm-hmm. Hike the ball, please. You know what I'm saying? That's all. That's how I want my quarterback to be, who's 6'5". Hike the ball, man. Give me the ball. We're gonna score this touchdown. 400 pounds. I'm 6'5". 1 yard. But here in Washington, we pass it.
Well, Mayhew said the offensive coordinator is going to be a run-first type guy. Mayhew's already said that they're going to pick somebody that's going to be a run-first kind of guy. And hopefully Mayhew picks players, since he's cooking in the kitchen, he picks players, like Trey said, that are run-first blocking offensive linemen. You know what I'm saying? And not Turner and the guys that old guys. Yeah.
We don't need the greatest show on turf no more. We need terrorists. This is what Washington has been. We need terrorists on the line that's going to pull and knock people down. And you know what's going to happen? You're going to see a better result. And the reason why I say that is because the next level up and a Ryan Robinson is a problem. And the next level up and Antonio Gibson is a problem. And if you watch the last game, you kind of saw if Waterbug had a little bit more of a hole instead of him having to climb over people's thighs and stuff just to get down the field. He could do it. Mm-hmm. It's just we don't never have the opportunity to display the talent of our backs at that second level. Because I know there's some fast linebackers in the league. Get it. Parsons is an anomaly. But what I'm saying to you is, when you got people moving left and right and you got them backs out there and they got some space, that's a problem. And that's what I'm saying. I think we can get that back, man.
Well, I think we have that back. Okay. I think the running back.
Yeah, I think we have the running back.
We have to go O-line heavy on the draft. If you want to do that,
right hand up,
and you got to find somebody who can actually teach these guys how to block.
Right.
You can't just be big and burly.
And
you got to learn how to block.
Then the offensive coordinator has to marry the run and the play action pass.
Yes, sir.
You do have to pass. You got to marry it together. And that's what Turner. See, Turner's head was too big. He went too far to the left. But that's what the new offensive coordinator has to do. He has to marry the running game with passing.
What you're saying is the offensive coordinator has to come in and not be a genius. He has to be a regular guy.
There you go. Hey,
okay,
he has to be the back of the class.
Sometimes the dude in the back of the class that does things simple.
Right.
You know, elementary is all you need. That's why we beat Dallas, because Turner broke it down elementary. He was elementary.
Turner was too big for too cerebral for us.
When he win that Super Bowl, you're gonna say Al was always right. He's right.
He's never
Trey-Z's not right. Al is right.
He's never right. That's me. Al is deep dive, and he hasn't done the deep dive on how sorry Turner is. Because he can't do it. Because if he does, he's gonna throw up all on himself.
Hey, I did a deep dive on Turner. I got you to the mind of Turner. You got into the mind of Turner. That genius mind of I got you right in that mind. I got you right. And then
you're right, Al.
I took examples of the previous great coordinators we had and show how they work when they left.
You saw the data. Right. And hey, listen, shrooms will do that. No, you're right. Because when you're calling a what was that? A toss.
Ladies and gentlemen, me and
on the third one, we called it a toss out. Third one in the game, we got to win.
Disclaimer with Trey Z. Me and Deacon are Christians.
Hey, I know marijuana is now legal.
Okay. It is natural though. It is natural. So
hey, and natural creativity is genius. Al.
Big Al was right. He was right. All right, gentlemen, let's get out of here, man. We getting goofy again. All right, man. So we'll be back with y'all again next week. We go on. Man, we keep going.
Watch this show, man. It's a great show, baby. Great show. You're gonna get nothing like this.
Like and subscribe. That's all we ask. Like and subscribe.
That's right.
All right, gentlemen. I'll see y'all next week. Love y'all.